I get stressed out. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 70. I'm going to have a heart attack before then because I get too worked up about little things.
Jeff's going to go to his grave, like, griping.
Yay Networks.
Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 15 here. We're doing, it's our happy hour. This airs on Wednesdays, but it's Friday. I always remind everybody that so they don't think it's Wednesday and we're getting drunk.
Just during the week, why not? Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. Spooky.
Lawson's birthday.
Our son's birthday, who's 7 today, which is crazy.
I can't believe that.
We're going to have a little bit of a neighbor jam after this. So having a couple cocktails warming up for the kids.
Yes. I'm so tired today. It's like really cool outside. The temperature's really dropped and it's like cozy. I'm having a pumpkin beer right now. This actually, I don't even know what this is. I always love like seasonal beers. And I feel so tired. So that's why I have to drink a beer to like be motivated and to be social.
It's good soup weather. I made soup this week.
Jeff,
I like to share my soup recipes.
I have been doing.
Soup's the best.
It is in the fall.
Yeah, right now. It's chilly. You get a sweatshirt on, eat a little soup. I'm
not going to lie. The soup he made, it really did. You said it. It tasted like if you go to Olive Garden, it tasted like that. What is it called? The Sucana?
I don't know.
Supana?
Oh, there's the birthday boy right now. Wow. Here, just pop in and show everybody your New Jersey.
And then go back upstairs because of your brother. Okay, hang on, Leighton. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Josh Allen,
hang on.
The birthday boy.
This is our neighbor got all the young boys on our street obsessed with the Buffalo Bills. So that's all he wanted, and he got every single thing Buffalo Bills.
Good job.
All right, guys, we got to finish this. Go upstairs. Go upstairs, Leighton. Go.
All right. Should we start over, or do you want
No.
Do you want to leave that in there?
Leave it in. Those are our kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep going.
But
we'll trim that in a little bit.
It's Lawson's birthday. Yesterday, I snuck out of the house and I went and I painted the rock. It's like a big thing at his school to get
Nobody knows what that
painted.
means. Yeah, you have to explain.
Well, I'm going there. You don't cut me off.
You said I painted the rock. Nobody knows what you're talking about. You're like, hey, Pete across the street. Nobody knows who Pete is.
I'm getting there. So Jeff took the kids to a game place. I went to the school to paint the school rock. And another thing you have to pay for, Jeff. And I'm proud of myself. I did a good job.
How much is rock rental these days?
I don't even know. You paid for it.
Oh, great.
And I think like $20-$30, something like that.
Is it really?
Yeah.
To paint a rock?
No. To rent the rock.
Oh, rent the rock.
So you rent. There's 2 rocks. So in the beginning of the year, like the first week of school, you got to reserve the rock.
Oh, you got to sign up for it?
Yeah, you got to reserve it because somebody else could have the same birthday.
Where's rock rental proceeds go to?
I have no idea. Probably the school. I have no idea.
All right.
That's another rant.
Yeah.
You have to pay to rent it. And then I went to Michael's and there was this lady, she was so excited. She was like, I'm a painter. And she really helped me out. Thank God I had somebody like her because I bought extra and thank God I did because it was so windy. And and then Jeff took the kids to the game place and it was really sweet. I thought about it today and I wanted to cry. My next door neighbor has 4 kids. And Lawson is like best friends with her kids. And today, like after we left the school, she said he was standing beside the rock, like all proud. And kids were walking by and like giving him hugs. And she said her 3 ran up and because her other one's too young to be in elementary, but the 3 that are in school there like ran up and gave him hugs. And he was, I don't know, kind of like, this is my rock. It was sweet.
You did a good job on that rock. We'll insert a little picture here so people can see it. If you're watching, if you're listening, it looks like a rock. But yeah, you did a great job on it. So that was very sweet. And he was proud of it. And are you getting a little emotional? Are those pills kicking in?
Maybe.
Are you like showing feelings? Frankenstein?
Okay, so I got the pellet, you all know, in my booty. And I swear,
Well, explain what it is.
I think we've talked about this. That's why I don't want to feel like I'm repeating myself. I got the pellet done because my testosterone level was a 3. You're supposed to be between like 60 and 100. I basically have no testosterone. And that could possibly be why I'm gaining so much weight too. Yeah, so I got this pellet done. It helps your moods. It helps anxiety, helps depression, helps with sex. The messages that I get from you all are hilarious. The ones that have the pellet, like, oh, my husband gets it all the time now. Like people writing me, it's just so, and I love it because people just feel like it's like, you all are sitting at home or walking. A lot of you say you walk or at the gym and it's like we're all friends and we're all just sitting here talking. And I love it. And that people are comfortable enough to send me messages like that.
I didn't even know that was a thing. And then like other people, it's so weird. Like you don't even know things in life exist until you get older. Then like, I didn't know women needed testosterone. And then so many people have like an opinion about it. I'm like, I didn't even know 3 weeks ago, if you asked me, I'd be like, I don't think women have testosterone.
If you get too much.
No, of course. I know that.
Facial hair, and they said you could get acne. I'm starting to get like boils. I'm like, oh God, please don't. Cause I don't break out that much. And so I'm like,
but you just got it less than a week ago. So
yeah,
who knows?
But people say it takes a month for you to feel it and for you to
feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it.
For you to feel it. And
you definitely said feel it.
And for it to kick in. But I feel like it's already working and I can tell.
Really?
I can. I feel like my energy. Don't you think I've been nicer?
In the last 48 hours?
No, I'm always nice.
I mean, the last 72 hours. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow.
Jeff needs a pellet.
What are you talking about?
Moodiness.
I'm not moody.
You need to go get yours checked.
I want to get all that stuff checked. I just got my blood work checked. It's fine. But I could get testosterone checked. But you have to be careful too, because I think you could take too much testosterone as a male.
So what would happen if you take too much as a male?
I think you turn into Teen Wolf. I don't know what happens.
See, with women, yeah. She said too, not to be like super plain, she said you could get like a long clit and your vagina can grow. And I was like, do not give me a fat vagina and a long clit.
Dang, dude. This podcast just took a turn.
Listen, it's your doctor. They're just telling you like what it could be.
I don't know if you're allowed to say, I don't know how comfortable everybody is hearing that. You just like out of nowhere just gave me a right click to the chops. I said it wrong too. I'm not even comfortable saying it.
I almost spit out my beer.
Oh man. All right. You threw me off there. I don't know where to drive this thing to.
Okay, since it's October 13th, I told Jeff, I said, let's talk about, are you superstitious?
You know what? I am, but I'm not like with Friday the 13th. I used to love Dan Marino growing up, and he used to be a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, and his number was 13. And I always liked 13. I don't know. I always felt like it wasn't unlucky for me. And then Lawson was born on the 13th, and a lot of people think that's unlucky. And I was like, I kind of like the number 13. Mm-hmm. What are you looking at me like? What was I supposed to say? Something like mind-blowing there?
No, I'm listening because I have something I wanted to say.
Well, I didn't really have anything. That's it. I'm not superstitious about 13. I know a lot of people are. But the
reason I asked is because I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you grew up in an Italian neighborhood, I thought Italians are like super superstitious. Like that's what, because you
not with 13, with other things.
No,
for
I'm
sure.
saying with other things. Like you normally have the funniest stories about your Italian friends. Like you'll talk about the pepper that they hang.
That's funny. Well, Sebastian Maniscalco, if you guys never heard of him, he's a comedian. If you did, he's hilarious. But he has a whole bit about like the pepper because it's supposed to like ward off evil spirits.
Yeah, but didn't you say Mimo?
Oh yeah.
And like in high school had a pepper?
For sure. A lot of people had the pepper. Like
you?
No, I didn't have the pepper. I'm only half Italian. And I grew up and my friends were 100% Italian. And a lot of them had the pepper.
What about Tony?
Tony? That's a good question. He might have had it, but then he
didn't tell anybody.
He owns his Italian heritage and then disowns it. It depends on which week it is or who embarrassed the Italians that week. But that's a lot of Italians in my neighborhood. But I'm only half Italian, so I couldn't hang the pepper if I wanted to.
But I feel like your mom's full Italian.
But she's not like that.
That's what I was about to say. Your mom, because people back home, because I'm from the South, would always ask me, oh my gosh, what's it like with an Italian mother-in-law?
Yeah, but she's...
And I'm like, it's not like the movies. Like, she's not like... I mean,
not at all.
There are some I have met that are like
a
the
lot
movies.
of my friends' parents are like the movies.
Yeah. And then his one friend... It was Christmas, I believe. And we went down because everybody hangs out in their basement, which I thought was weird because nobody does that at home. And everything's really nice upstairs.
So
on the main floor.
Again, I don't know how many people listen or are Italian. I don't know. But like where I grew up, you don't go upstairs to anyone's house. Okay. You never go upstairs unless it's like prom or a wedding. That's like the only time I've ever been upstairs to my Italian friend's house. That's it. You're always in the basement and everything's ceramic tiles, ceramic, everything. So it's easier to clean, you know?
Well, he took me to his friend's house who is full Italian. And where are they from?
They're from Bari.
Yeah. And I swear to you,
like the heel, I guess would say.
I felt like I was on The Sopranos. They had all the wine out, the accents, very thick accents. I could barely understand them. They were speaking, I think, Italian to each other. And then I definitely stood out like a sore thumb. Fake boobs and blonde hair.
I don't know. I just grew up like that. But I mean, yeah, when we talked last week about the 7 fishes or whatever, that's where I'd go to get that. Like my buddy Mimo's house, he's my best friend growing up. I love fish so much that after I was done with my family, it'd be like 11 or 12. I'd go over to his house and eat the leftovers that he had.
Because Jeff and I have been together, 15 years, 14 years, something like that. Jeff, we were dating. And you would call me and be like, I'm at Mimo's house. And you had left from going to your dad on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
From going with your dad's. I remember that.
Yeah, so I'd go over there and eat the leftovers. And they knew I was like coming over to eat because it was all fish. But I mean, I grew up when Mimo like, hey, Meme, if you're listening, he's not listening. But I don't know, it's so funny, all this stuff. But I grew up with him and I worked with his dad, you know, so I put in ceramic tiles.
That's what Jeff...
That was like my first job, you know, so I used to do ceramic tiles with him on the weekends, you know, and so I kind of got real close with their family and I dated their cousin. So I was kind of all in that family, but it was very Italian, you know, very Italian. My mom always laughs and she's Italian and she laughs at the stories that I tell her, you know what I mean? Because it's just how it is, you know?
I feel like y'all have probably seen pictures on my Instagram. I always go shopping with Jeff's mom's cousin, Barb. And Barb looks like an Italian from the movies. Like she's always in fur, always in black, always working the deal.
Yeah, I think she'd love it.
Oh no, she owns up to it. And that's what makes her even funnier. And she's loud and she's just funny. She just says whatever. I feel like if I was Italian, I would be Barb.
Huh. That's a good question. I don't know who. No, I don't think Barb. I think Barb really likes being Italian. I don't know if you would. I don't know if you don't. I feel like I'm always like just talking to my family. Everyone's like, "Who are you talking to?" and "Who are these people?" Yeah, I don't know. It's just again going back to Sebastian. He's got a big thing about being Italian. He grew up not too far away from me. I think he's like from Schaumburg area, which is like, you know, he's in the suburbs of Chicago, kind of where I grew up. So Sebastian Maniscalco, check him out. He's got the best Italian stories.
Look on
the funniest
Netflix.
Italian
I'm not even Italian and I crack up.
But because everything he talks about, like, I mean, from like writing down like who gave you what at weddings, you know, all that stuff's true. Like people write down and they keep track of like, oh, Jordan came and she gave $100. When your kid gets married, you're getting $100. Like, that's how it is. Like, you get what you give.
Y'all,
So if you get $50, you tight ass, you're getting, and they don't take into effect inflation. So even if it's 20 years later, you're getting $50. For real. I never thought about that.
Oh, that makes me laugh.
It's true.
They don't include inflation.
I never thought about that.
When we were getting, well, we didn't have our wedding, but we were planning it. Jeff's mom was so stressed out about the wedding list, and you didn't forget this person. You didn't forget that person. I'm like, no, Mary, I didn't forget that person. Don't forget that person, because she was so scared. Because if you invite, I remember she told me, she goes, if you invite one cousin, you invite them all.
Because it's a respect thing. And I even feel that now. I know I grew up like that, but to me, that's the right thing to do. So when you're like, no, don't do that, or don't do this, or I never go to anyone's house like empty handed, no matter what, you know, like I don't know, maybe just the way I was raised, but that's what you got to do. And
before we go to break, I just have a story. Jeff, it was my first Italian wedding I got invited to. And, you know, I'm in North Carolina. In North Carolina, at our weddings, you wear whatever. Like, you could wear a bright pink dress. Do you remember, you know where I'm going with this?
No.
I had this, like, pretty, like, bright blue blazer. And it was, like, this skirt. It was, like, sequins. It was really pretty. It was, like, dressy. And it reminded me of Sebastian, because Sebastian reminds me of Jeff, because how he complains about everything. Jeff goes, you're not wearing that, are you? I go, what do you mean? I go, this looks nice. And he goes, no. We're going to an Italian wedding. He goes, you don't understand. You wear black.
No, because you wanted to wear like Lily Plitzer with sparkles. So I'm like, just wear black. Because people talk. And I'm like, just wear black and let's do this and get out of there, you know?
So I had to go to the mall and go find a dress for this. I forgot whose wedding it was. It might have been Tony's brother.
Steve. Yeah, I think it was Tony's brother.
I want to say it was Tony's brother.
Right.
And I couldn't find anything. And I was like, I cannot believe I'm wearing this black dress. I really wanted to wear, because what I was wearing was like all bright.
How'd you feel 15 minutes after you got there?
Well, every single person was in black. And so I would have felt super awkward.
Yeah.
But okay, we're going to take a break and then we'll come back.
Welcome back. Do you remember the show Welcome Back, Kotter?
Never heard of it.
You never heard of that? In your whole life? I think that's John Travolta. Isn't that John Travolta's show where he first started?
John Travolta had his own show?
No, where he first appeared. Was that Welcome Back, Kotter?
Jeff, he's like my dad's age.
I know, but he was in a show where he was like Vinnie Barbarino, or was that his Saturday Night Fever character?
Only one. Okay, so my first memory of John Travolta would be, Grease, and then
you ever see Saturday Night Fever?
Look Who's Talking. That I was like 9 or like 8 or something.
You never saw Saturday Night Fever?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've seen like parts. I don't think I've seen the whole thing. I think
it's a jam.
No, he's a good dancer.
He's amazing. Like, go back and watch. Like, I'm like, whoa, dude. Travolta was the man. If you watch
Big Brother, Cody Calafiore, how do you say his last name?
Calafiore.
Okay, sorry if I said it wrong. He always, to me, looked like John Travolta.
He does,
because he's a nice looking. I don't know. He looks like John Travolta. If you don't know, Google.
Going back to like Italian. Well, I don't know how I thought we were gonna get off that, but Mimo's mom always used to say, "Hey, you look like a Johnny Travolta." That's how she says John Travolta. Johnny Travolta. Oh my God. I have so many stories about.
I'm not even going to try to do the accent, but when she's talked to me, I don't know. I can't even do it good.
All right. We'll get off the Italian thing.
Okay.
No, we just came back and I don't know why. I think that's the right show. If not, whatever. But let's get back. It's our son's birthday. We're going to try to get back on track. I'm sure we're going to.
So we're just going to have a couple neighbors over, and then the Leafs here, if you ever come to Colorado around this time, you've got to go to the mountains and see the Leafs. It is so pretty. Today, or backyard is small, but the leaves are so nice.
Yeah, they're all like red and yellow. Like it's
pretty.
beautiful. And you go up to the mountains, everything's changing. So tomorrow we'll take a little drive up to the mountains, which we do a lot, but I really love it a lot. Like getting out in nature, especially around this time of year. It's nice and crisp.
Yeah.
You see the colors changing, and there's possibility of seeing Bigfoot.
Okay. I saw that on your show, actually.
I think, well, everyone's heard the story because he was Bigfoot.
You want to believe Bigfoot.
I do want to believe it.
It's just like you want to believe aliens.
Yeah, I really do. I really do. But,
I can't believe it.
But it wasn't too far from here. It was Durango, I think that was.
I thought it was like, because it looked like they were on a train. I thought it was thinking like Georgetown Road, but I don't.
It's not too far from here. It's in Colorado.
Yeah,
so if you don't know the story, I'm sure you've heard it. Bigfoot was spotted out here recently, the last couple of days.
It was probably a guy in Colorado that was stoned or doing something, LSD or something, and was like, you know what? It's close to Halloween. I want to put on a Bigfoot costume and I just want to go out there and enjoy nature. And he was just hanging out and then got spotted. That's probably what it really was.
My brother texts me because he still lives back in Chicagoland area, and he texts me. He's like, "Dude, you see Bigfoots out there?" Because he knows I love that stuff. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "That's." I wrote him back. I go, "Jordan's taking testosterone pills. That was just her wandering around." That was my response. So it could be Jordan, it could be Bigfoot. You don't know. Well, you never know what you're going to get when you come to Colorado.
You're such a dick.
Where do we go from here?
Jeff used to watch this show.
Oh, Finding Bigfoot. Dude, that show went on for like 10 seasons.
And there's no Bigfoot. There's no I would watch it with Jeff. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And they would do the same thing every episode.
Every single episode.
And then throw rocks, and like Bigfoot likes to be aggressive and throw things. It was the same episode every single time. And this was like when I didn't have a job, and I'm like, I can't get a show, and Bigfoot's on for 10 seasons. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I was like really putting my career next to that show, Finding Bigfoot.
We should start something. We should record. We're going up to the mountains. We should go.
Well, people like that stuff. They like scary stuff. It's Halloween season. People want to believe in Bigfoot. They want to believe in aliens.
We were in the mountains one time and the boys were being bad. And this was a long time ago. Do you remember we told them, we were like, Bigfoot's out here? And Lawson and Leighton were like, oh, and like so scared. And they started like listening to us because they were scared. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
We were like driving up the mountain and, I was like, you guys, you know that spot we always go to, like towards Evergreen, and we stop and we told them that there was Bigfoot. And the boys were like so scared. And then like we're listening to us because they were getting too close to the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then we told them, like, you better watch out. If you get too far away, Bigfoot.
Would you be scared to go camping? Like at nighttime?
My biggest fear with camping is I would love to go camping. It's because I would like being in nature in the dark and all that. It's bears that I would have a heart attack. I would die if a bear came to our tent.
I don't think that. When was the last time you heard of a bear attack? Especially like camping, they know, like they're kind of used to
because if
people.
you got food, that's why I always
they'll eat your food.
I say this all the time. I want a Sprinter van so bad. And I would totally just get in the car and get in a Sprinter van and just go. And I would feel safe.
That's not camping.
Yeah, it is. You could just pull over anywhere.
Sleeping in a Mercedes giant truck is camping.
No, Sprinter vans don't have to be Mercedes. They can be other cars. They look like, there's one today I saw that was actually really cool. It was like green, and they were going somewhere, and our son was dressed up like an elf and waving to him.
Or the youngest one. He's already wearing his Halloween costume. He's going to be an elf on the shelf, but he looks cute.
He does.
Yeah,
he looks so cute.
But like going back to the Sprinter van, I would love to do like Winnebago Sprinter van, whatever you call it. I would love that. Like if I had like a 2-week vacation or something and just cruise around, especially this time of year, like right now, that's kind of like on my bucket list to do. And just I've never been like north of here. I've been to a lot of places, but I haven't been to the Dakotas. Haven't been to Montana, Idaho. You know, I haven't been to all those places. It'd be cool to cruise around and just see the mountainside. And
Every time you say Dakota, like North Dakota, I think, is it North Dakota Fargo?
I think it is.
The movie,
Yeah.
not movie, the show we watched. She's like, yeah, hon.
Is it Fargo?
Fargo. Remember?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
What was that show
Why do I want
we
to say
watched?
Minnesota though? But they
sound like Minnesota.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is North Dakota.
Yeah, and we would like do those accents all the time. But I heard it's like for like -20. It's freezing there.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, no.
There's not really much. I mean, Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota, right?
I have no idea. I didn't even know. I didn't
I was
even know.
double checking with you, and you looked away.
I told Lisa. She was like, "You should go see Mount Rushmore. Is the one with the presidents, right?"
Yeah.
And I told Lisa, I was like, "What's that?" And she was like, "You don't know what Mount Rushmore is?"
I was gonna be like, do you know who's on there? But I'm not 100% who's on there.
I think George Washington.
Yeah, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I think
I don't know the other
Teddy
guy.
Roosevelt's on there.
Yeah, I don't know the other guy.
Is Thomas Jefferson on there?
No, there's only 3.
I thought there was 5.
There's
There's 5.
No.
This is bad.
Hang on. I'll Google it. I got my phone. Mount.
You know, everyone at home's listening and they're like, oh, I could totally name it. But you're always forgetting one guy. It's kind of like the 3 tenors. You always forget one of them. Do you know who the 3 tenors are? Are you listening?
I know. I'm trying to look. Hang on. Now, Mount Rushmore.
Don't tell me who's on there. Let me guess.
But I didn't type in their names. I just typed in
Mount Rushmore. Who's on Mount Rushmore? Talk into it.
Well, I just looked to see how many were on there. There's 4. So
there's only 4?
I said 3 and you said 5.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me guess.
Okay,
Lincoln,
hang on. Now
Washington.
let me Google because I don't know who they are. Hang on.
Will you just press the button and say who's on Mount Rushmore?
Who's on Mount Rushmore?
You know, this is like a show.
I know. Hang on. Okay, I got it.
All right. It's Lincoln, right?
Abraham Lincoln. Yeah.
Wow. Washington.
George Washington. Yes.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah. And Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. You're smart.
I got it. But I thought there was 5, so I'm not that smart.
No, I thought there were 3. And the only reason, remember that movie Richie Rich?
Richie, the movie?
With Macaulay Culkin?
No.
And he's on there. They're like shooting by like Mount Rushmore, I guess, or somewhere like that. Like it's heads, but it's their heads. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's his family's heads. That's the only reason.
That's your knowledge of it. That's why, I mean, so if you go and
It's not presidents, it's them. It's like him and his mom and his dad.
Anyway, I like that stuff. I like history. So anyways, cool little history lesson there on Jeff and Jordan's podcast.
I don't know history to save my life. Let's take a break and then we'll come back.
With some more fun facts.
Welcome back. So to close this out, like I said, we never have anything structured, but I like it not structured here. What is the messiest thing that happened to you this week? And I will go first. It wasn't the messiest thing. I would say it's more so something that irritates me that people do. And I know y'all can relate. I had an appointment and it was one of those things where you got to get on an app, pay to park. You got to put in your driver's license, duration, how long. And it takes it takes me 5 minutes to do that.
Yeah,
it takes forever.
It's annoying.
And then for some reason, this one thing, the app, it will always, the first time you do it, say there's an error, and then you have to redo it a second time. It happens to me every single time. Anyways, so I was down in Cherry Creek, and it's super busy over there around noon, and it's hard to find parking. Well, this guy comes out, and I was like, oh. So I put on my signal that I'm going to park, parallel park. He gets in his car, sits there. And I was like, and you got your foot on the brake. So you got your foot on the brake, you're just not moving the car. So you probably get in your car and then you stop and you look at Instagram or you look at Facebook or you're texting somebody and you're just sitting there. Well, then this lady comes out and I was like, oh, she's right in front of him. I'll I'll just take hers because he's taken forever. And you know, it's small roads, so the traffic builds up. So I'm like, I'm not moving because it's so hard to find a parking spot over here. She gets in her car. Both of them. She takes forever. And I'm like, what are you doing? Both cars are on. Both, like you can tell because the brake light's on. And they're both sitting there. And I'm like, I'm not moving. I am not moving. I will be late for my appointment. I'm staying. I'm not moving. Going to try to find those parking spots. They both leave at the same time. I was so annoyed. Like, that annoys me when people do that. When it's something busy, like when you're busy, get in your car. Because I always think that.
Like Christmas time shopping, get in your car and get out of there.
Yeah.
Stop. Like,
don't you remember, like when you were younger, being in all that craziness and the shopping and the holidays? Like, you loved it. It was so exciting just being in the crowd with
I still
people.
like going to the mall.
But now it's like you're more annoyed.
Oh, I'm
that?
annoyed by everybody.
I'm not saying like you, I'm saying everybody. Like, why is that?
Because you're older and people are gross. But I know you're turning into me, by the way, because that's me like on a daily basis.
Well, you are who you run around with. So
yeah, you're turning, which isn't a great thing because we should balance each other out.
You're not turning into me at all.
How would I turn into you?
I don't know. I was about to spit out my beer.
What should I do? Not pay the bills? I don't know what That's such a shot. That's such a cheap shot. It felt so good.
You're such an asshole.
All right.
You're such an asshole.
Oh, man. All
I'm
right.
getting hot.
So wait, going back to the people who annoy us, because I'm like that every day in my life. And someone at Costco, I was just at Costco like 2 days ago, and I was getting gas, and you know it's like a madhouse getting gas there, you know.
Oh, wait.
So I was picking up stuff for Lawson's thing and just getting hot dogs and hamburgers, and so I'm in line to get gas, and I was next, and the lady in front of me strolls over, goes in her car, and the guy in front of her, there's two pumps, just started pumping his gas. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, don't tell me this lady, and I was all the way on the left, and then there's an arrow saying like to go around, And I was sitting there, I'm like, is this lady gonna sit there till the next guy's done? I'm like, no, she's not. I'm like, do I say something? Should I honk or should I like get out, or is she's gonna move? Is she gonna move? And I'm like, I'm going to get my phone and record this because I can't believe you're not moving. Like, this is what happens in my head. Because I'm like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing right now? And I'm only 45, but I want to go, like, when I'm like 70, I think 70 is a good age where you could do whatever you want, So if I'm like 70, I could just go and knock on the window and be like, hey, were you planning on not moving? Because there's like 100 people here and you're holding up the whole line. What is wrong with you? Is something wrong? Do you need a psychiatrist? That's what I want to say to people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? Don't you understand what I'm saying?
I don't get heated like you do. I just like...
I almost started filming her and I wanted to start ranting and just be like, what's wrong with this person? Why are people... And you know what? It turns out she waited for the guy to go in front of her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I get stressed out. I don't know if I'm going to make it to 70. I'm going to have a heart attack before then. Because I get too worked up about little things.
Jeff's going to go to his grave, like, griping. I was saying that to Lisa today. I was like, all Jeff does, he wakes up and he gripes. He goes to bed, he gripes. I said, everything is just, he just gripes.
What do you mean I gripe?
You gripe. Just like, it's like, meh, meh, meh. Like every little, like, thing.
My mind just works like that.
I think it's just how you grew up.
No, it's not how I grew up. It's the older I get, the more gripey I get.
And then Jeff's brother, Scott, if y'all followed us for a long time, you would know Jeff's brother, Scott, is like the opposite. He's like the calmest.
I don't know where I get it from.
Chill. You get it from...
I guess my mom says my grandpa. But my dad is super chill. My dad is like, nothing phases him. And I'm the opposite. I'm like ready to flip over somebody's car.
That's Scott.
Because it turned yellow.
Scott's your dad. And your mom's pretty chill. And then...
Yeah, my mom is chill.
You're like You
I'm
like
out of
don't
control.
belong. You're the third child. You just like.
That was an accident.
I know Jeff's mom said, because Jeff and his brothers are what? When Jeff was born, his oldest brother
They're
was
2 years
7.
apart.
Yeah, Jeff's oldest brother was 7. Scott was 5, and then you were born. And then Jeff's mom was like, "You're on my plan," and I was like, "Oh no, I'm not." You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? Lawson just turned 7.
I
Leighton
know.
5.
I know. And I was like, "No, we're not."
And I always said I wanted 3 kids.
I don't. I'm taking testosterone right now.
So should I take some estrogen and reverse the roles?
Actually, you probably should. You'd be more sensitive and probably cry a little.
What are you talking about? I'm super sensitive.
You are. You know what? I take y'all. We're joking too, because some people think like we get like really mad. We're joking when we talk about this. Our kids though, you're very sensitive. You talk.
Yeah,
you like cry all the time.
Right now.
The first time I had ever seen Jeff cry was marriage boot camp.
What?
That was the first time I ever saw you cry, ever.
No way.
Yeah, dead serious. You never cried, because I remember telling you, because I mean, we did long distance.
Oh.
And then what was there a point of crying? And then if we would get into fights, we were like screaming at each other.
What do you mean? That's not true. Because
yes, it
what do
is.
you mean? When we lived in LA, I used to like say, let's go get emotional by the ocean.
Yeah, you would say, let's get emotional by the ocean. Like that was like a joke. You never
Yeah, I would cry.
You never cried.
Come on. It
Maybe
was a thing.
you would cry like talking to Matt and them about your dreams and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That
was my favorite.
Yeah. Jeff used to, well, y'all know, because if you watch Big Brother, he used to rip ciggies, and him and our other friends would sit in our apartment, we'd be drunk, and they would sit by the window and blow their smoke out and smoke their ciggies, and I would just sit there and be drinking beer, and they would just be sitting there talking about dreams. And then Scotty would always tell Jeff, "You got to get big. You got to get big, Jeff." And Jeff's like, "I just want a job. I want to host. I want to do this. I want to do that. I go to all these auditions."
But isn't it crazy? And now look
No, but we'll end it like this. You stopped drinking. You stopped smoking. You started working out. You always worked out.
Yeah.
But I mean, like worked out like hardcore.
Serious.
You were like working out twice a day.
Serious.
Super serious. Lost all this weight. Got your mind right. And it was like night and day with you. I think it was because you hit rock bottom. That's like another topic to talk about, but you hit rock bottom, and then you got the job at DBL.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But Jeff did quit smoking once Lawson was born.
Yeah.
You can wait, and I just have to say this before we end this. You know, like going back to like birthdays, and this is so random, but it's like with smoking and stuff, like in the 80s or 90s. Man. Birthday parties, everybody was just ripping ciggies around you. Now, if you were smoking a cigarette and blowing a smoke around
insane.
a kid, you would get in. So I was in third grade, and a lady my mom was friends with, I was friends with her daughter. They lived in the neighborhood. They took me somewhere, and her mom smoked cigarettes and had the windows rolled up. And I remember being like, I can't breathe.
I can't even believe people smoke. Like when I see people smoking, I'm like, people still smoke? It's crazy. But around kids and birthday parties, like go back to the 80s, like kids' birthday parties, people just smoke everywhere.
But you know what? That was like the good days. When I was a hostess, I was 16 the first time I was a hostess, and I remember being like smoking or non-smoking when people would walk in. Remember?
I know.
There was
like
a smoking section.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And the smoke still went over. It's just crazy how like times have changed. But this is a whole nother topic. But those were like the good old days.
From Bigfoot to big clitorises to big dreams
to Italians.
We covered it all today.
Yes. You all have a wonderful week. We're going to go celebrate Lawson. And one thing that we forgot to mention in the beginning, I know we like joke around and like have fun on here, but on a serious note, prayers to Israel and everything going on in Israel. It's terrible what's going on, and prayers to everyone over there. So have a wonderful week, and cheers, everybody.
Are you still shocked by the clit comment?
It threw me off a little bit.
Dude, I was kind of stunned over here in the corner.
Well,
A long one.
Yeah, she said you can get along. It can grow. It can grow.
Like Pinocchio?
Yeah.
She goes, if you get too much, you can get a long clit. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, hair on my face, acne, a long clit, and fat vagina. That would
hang
be
it from your wiper like a pepper.